Sit it ta 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 ta. Sit it ta 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 ta. Chicka 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 ta. Zoom ta 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 dum ta dum ta dum dum ta 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 dum ta dum ta dum dum ta 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 dum ta dum dum dum. It's Titan in the morning. Zibba dibba ta ta dum ta dum ta ta dum ta dum ta. Sibba dibba ta ta dum ta dum ta ta dum ta dum dum dum. Doom, sibba da to doom to doom da to doom to doom doom to doom to doom doom, sibba da boom 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 boom. Titan in the morning, sibba da doom to doom da do to doom da to doom to doom dee dibby dibby dee to do to do do to do to do to do to do do. It's Titan in the morning. Zibba dibba doop. It's Titan in the morning. Zibba dibba doop. It's Titan in the morning. It's Titan in the morning. So Titan in the morning. My name is Titan Capri. I am a black gay man living with HIV and celebrating 20 years of thriving in my diagnosis. Titan in the Morning is an inclusive space for your morning wake up. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. We come in and we say good morning because we love all the O's and R's and INGs. Then we grab our cups, put the topic in the cups, and then we sip. You will get a space and a place where you can be who you are just the way God made you, along with some breathwork breathing. And not to mention some movement with the Titans groove. Sit it, ta 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 ta. So come on in to this inclusive, brave, and safe space where we like to say good morning to our village, tribe, gang, and chosen family. The place to be is right here with me. I will see you there. Good morning. Hey, wait a minute, hold on. Now let me say it one more time. Good morning. Good morning to you all. Y'all know what today is. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know how we do it and how we get on up in here and do what we do. Now, y'all, this morning I'm sipping on a little something because let me tell you. Hold on. It's good. It's tasty. I got a couple of marshmallows up in it. Look, y'all don't know nothing about the giant marshmallows until you didn't have the giant marshmallows. But anyways, good morning. Hey, TikTok, good morning to you. Y'all tippity tap the middle of that screen. Let me know that y'all are in. I got a goal over there. Show me some love over there. YouTube, Facebook, Insta, Podbean, X. Y'all show me some love. Show me some hearts. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell them to come on in. Tell them to be a part. You know, all the good stuff. You know what I'm talking about? All the good stuff. Yes, indeed. So good morning to you all. Hey over there. Hey over there. Hey, Podbean. Good morning to you. Good morning. Thank you for being in. Hey, Instagram. Good morning. Thank you for being in. I appreciate you. Hey, thank y'all for being. Yes, today is Tuesday. It is Tuesday. It's the day after a holiday. Yes. Okay. So y'all, we're coming in today. First, I want to say Happy Black History Month. We are still in Black History Month, but I celebrate being black 24/7, 365. But I want to say Happy Black History Month to you all. Have you all went and did any type of research, right, on Black history? Because Black history is history. Okay. All right, y'all. So I ask that you do that. Just type in today in Black history. Yeah, type in today in Black history. Yeah, do that. Do that. Type that in and see what you get. See what's going on. Y'all, that way we stay abreast of what's happening in the world and what's going on. Okay. So this is what we do. We go over to our search engine, whatever that may be, and we type in today in Black history and see what it come up with. See what happens. Yeah, see what happens. Indeed. Good morning to you. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Indeed. Okay, so here's the thing. So this is what we do. For those of you that are new here, someone said, I'm new here. What's this all about? So my name is Titan Capri. I'm a black gay man living with HIV and celebrating 20 years, right? What I do, my platform is here to uplift, to encourage, to be, to talk about the things that are going on in the world, but to love yourself and do those things and just have some fun. And a couple of things that we do here at Titan in the Morning, which I'm going to explain to you here, but we do a couple of things. First off, we say good morning. And we say good morning like this. We say good morning, right? This is a brave and safe space, so you are included. Come on in, have you some time, kick off your shoes, relax your feet, do all of that good stuff. Hey, Lucy Lou, good morning. Lucy Lou said, good morning, sweetie. Well, I'm sorry. She said, good morning, sweetie. That's what she said. That's what she said. Yes, indeed. Hey, Willie. Hey, three. Willie said, good morning. You know I love all those O's and R's and INGs. Yeah, y'all come on in. Come on in. For those who are new here, this is an inclusive, brave, and safe space, right? As safe as I can make it, right? I want you to come in, say good morning. Okay, so for that person, for anybody that's new to the space. Hey, Karma. Karma said grand rising. Grand rising to you as well. Good morning. We say good morning, right? But we don't just say good morning. We say good morning because we woke up this morning, right? Now, you may think it's a little selfish. You may think it's a little self-centered, but I want you to say good morning to yourself in the best way possible. And that's how we do that. That's how we say good morning. That's why we put all the O's and R's and INGs in it. Uh-huh. That's what we do. Then we have a topic that we put in our cup, right? That we put in our cup. That's what we do. Karma said, amen. Okay, Karma, you know I try to do what I can. Ava said, what? I have those same glasses. Ha! Come on, Ava. You better be in there. You better be in there. You know, Ava, so stay around so we can match glasses one day. You know what I'm saying? Do that. So yes, so what we do, we say good morning, but we are all about uplifting. We're all about love. We're all about doing the things that we need to do in order for us to sustain and be blessed and all of that good stuff, right? Now, the next thing that we do, hey, the real boss lady over on Instagram, good morning. Hey, good morning to you. Hey, Daryl, good morning. Good morning to you. Dee Dee, hey Dee Dee, good morning. Good morning to you. All right. So the other thing that we do, right? I want to make sure. Hold on. Let me make sure. Am I buffering y'all? Okay, I'm just making sure. Mary Ellis, is that how you say it? Make sure let me know how to pronounce it because I think I just saw Mary Ellis and then that's what I that's what I said. Said good morning, your skin is beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I try. I try. Right, right. This 50-year-old skin, I try to make sure that I'm good. I try to do a good wash in the morning for y'all. Hey Larry, good morning. Amaryllis. But you good. Haha, I'm used to it. Okay, okay. Amaryllis, that's what we do. That's what we do. So good morning to you, Amaryllis. I think that's how we say it, right? Good morning to you. Good morning and welcome in and welcome in. Larry, good morning to you as well. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Brescia. Good morning. Y'all know I love all this carrying on. Y'all, when y'all say good morning to me, that just fuels me. That makes me feel good. Hey, Angela Hawkins. Good morning. Look, that's how I think she said it. Because that's how she wrote it. That's how she put it in the comments. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Hey, Vale. Good morning, corazon. Yeah, that's how Vale greets me all the time. Corazon. Baby, I put these giant marshmallows in this cup. Hold on. Mm, wait a minute. Hold on. I feel like a little kid with these giant marshmallows. Look, y'all do what you do. Do it how you do. Let's come on in and say good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Now, y'all like, follow, share, subscribe, do all the things. I'm Titan Capri on all social media. Tell a friend. Tell a friend to come on in and come chill with us. Uh-huh. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So this morning, I want to check in with you all, right? But I want to mention what my topic is this morning. My topic is people's first language. Words have meaning, right? Words have meaning. Um, I want to talk about this because in this time that we're living in, they're taking words, they're taking phrases, they're taking identities out of context, they're taking it out of legislation, they're taking it out of House bills, Senate bills, they're taking it out of our history books, they're doing all of the things. And so there was a conversation that was had over the weekend, and they asked about the conversation was around certain words that we use, right? And they asked the question to a table of LGBTQIA plus individuals about this word, and I want to discuss it. But it was a teachable moment, a learning moment for a lot of people at the table, and I just want to bring that to you all. So today we're talking about people's first language, right? Words have meaning. And I'm going to do a little twist on people's first language because people's first language came about, right, with the Denver principles, right? That actually HIV, right, was before the person or before people. So y'all follow me on this. So they would address the actual disease or the virus first. You with me? And so that was, to me, that was traumatizing. That was stigmatizing. That was something that's saying that you care more about the disease or the virus than you do the actual person, right? Treatment should be for the person and not for the actual virus and the disease. And y'all stay with me on this. Because when you go into these doctor's offices, when you go in to get a diagnosis, when you go in, or even just out in the world, period, people will talk to you as if you are the disease or the virus, not looking at your whole self, not looking at your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, right? And so a lot of times what will happen is that when they are treating you, right, as the disease or the virus first, they're not looking at you and how you're feeling, right? Not that you're feeling sick, but how am I mentally? How am I emotionally? How am I spiritually, right? And then in this world today where words matter, words have meaning, right? And they have meaning because they were not there before. We didn't have the words for this before. And yes, I know y'all talk about alphabet soup and LGBTQIA plus, all the alphabets and all of that. But y'all, this is what happens, right? When people put you in a box and they tell you that you can only be this, but you know you are much more than that, right? Words have meaning. Words can cut like a knife. Words can hurt. Words can damage. Words can cause you to do things that you probably would have never been, not wanting to do before. Like words have meaning. And I think that it's time for us to really look at how we should use people first language. And I'm not saying this that you can't use the language that you've been using, but I'm saying if you are in this fight, if you are in this community, if you are in, and this is any community, I'm not just saying my community, because I intersect with a lot of communities. So when you are in this and you are doing this, there comes a time that you have to really stand up and say, is this good for me? Number one. And number two, is this good for my community? Is this good for my village, my tribe, my gang, and my chosen family? Right? For me to use these words, for me to not think of them first, people first, right? For them to not have a human experience first, but for me to say these words that are nasty and derogatory and they aim straight at your back and your heart and me not even think about it, right? That's the way that I look at things. So I wanted to give that preface first before I start the conversation, because a lot of times what people will say is, oh, well, that word means that to you, but it doesn't mean that to me. And so I believe that you allow people to identify as they feel they should, right? You're with me? Like I don't need you to tell me what they are doing or he's doing or she's doing or whatever have you. If they tell me that this is how they identify, if they say I don't like that, if they say that you don't do this and you don't do that, then that's the route that I'm going. You with me? But number one, I'm standing in the midst of my culture, my community, my world, my life, and I don't want to make it better. You with me? So that's number one right there. That's number one. So we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Today I'm talking about people's first language, right? I'm talking about words have meaning. And that's what we're going to talk about. Vale says HIV affects your brain, affects your mood, depression, anxiety, ADHD. Important to take your meds to reduce the effects of HIV on your body. And truth, right? And then also as well, speaking of how it affects everything, but HIV is not the only thing that affects your body and your brain and things like that. So when I speak of having a people's first language and having a human experience, we got to make sure that we make space. Now, we may not cover everybody, right? May not cover everybody, but we got to make sure that we are in that moment to say, okay, I'm trying to do the best that I can with being proactive and having a brave and safe space, right? Thank you for that, Vale. Thank you for that. And so, y'all, what happens is with anything that goes on, it will, after you have been doing something, been with something for some time, you change. Your brain changes, your cells changes, your body changes. All of those things happen, right? And so a lot of times, some of us are from other spaces and places in the world, so things hit us differently. Hey, Kesh, good morning. I'm sorry. Let me stop saying Kesh because I just gave you a whole name, and I've been saying that for years. It's Keish. I've been saying it for years, and people been saying, "Why you say Kesh?" Because I can. 'Cause what? No, just kidding. All right, y'all. So before we get into the topic this morning, I want to check in with you. What's one word of how you're feeling today? What's one word of how you're feeling today? Hey, teacher, good morning. Teacher said, hey, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Uh, Catch said, you're fine. I'm good with it. I know you good. I know you good. I know you didn't already told me that. I'm just saying for others that's looking at how it's spelled and saying, why you mispronouncing her name? She giving me permission. I asked for consent and she said yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Kish says, awesome. You're feeling awesome today. That's good. What's one word of how you're feeling today? Teacher said, good morning. You know, I love all those O's and R's and INGs. Teacher, come on in. Welcome in. Glad to have you. Hope you stay for a while. Kick off your shoes, relax your feet, and party on down to the escape beat. Just kick it. Just kick it. Just kick it. Just kick it. Kick off your shoes. Relax your. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, y'all. So how you? Teacher said, "Oh, thank you for making me feel better." Indeed, teacher. Indeed. Welcome in. Okay. Okay. Bree said, "Hopeful." All right. Hopeful. All right, y'all. So I got awesome. I got hopeful. Hold on. Let me see what else I got. Hey, the father. Hey. Let's see what else I got. What's one word of how you're feeling today? What's one word of how you're feeling today? I've got hopeful. I got awesome. I got beautiful. Okay. Okay. Red said coherent. Okay, come on. Cause some of us gotta make sure that we coherent. Like we can understand. Okay. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make sure that we good. Okay. Vale said fantastic. Indeed. Come on, Vale. Fantastic. Yes, indeed. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, yeah, no, no, no. Okay. Hey, Wanna. Wanna said, Grand Rising cousin, I feel like busting loose. Ah, busting loose. I said. mm, 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 Okay, cousin, stop that, because you know that all it takes is one little thing to set me off wonderfully. Okay, hey, Miss Gwen, good morning. Come on, wonderfully. That's what I'm talking about. So, y'all, this is what I want to say to you all this morning. When we ask, what's one word of how you're feeling today? That's your word. That's your word. That's it right there. You know what I'm saying? That's whatever that word is, how you feeling in that moment. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. That's how you're feeling. Okay. Teacher said, what to do with the bully? Okay, teacher, hold on a second. Lucy Lou said upbeat. Okay, come on, come on. Okay, one at a time, but just like that. Okay, look. I feel like busting loose, sir. Busting loose. I said, okay, my bad. Y'all, let me get back. So, what's one word of how you're feeling today? And be honest with yourself. Today, I'm a little in between, right? I'm a little in between. I am feeling good and blessed, right? But I'm a little in between. I'm a little perplexed. There's some things that are going on around me, and I'm just a little perplexed. So I'm kind of in between. So I don't know what that word actually is, right? But I'm in between. I'm in between like that. Let me see. I think it's Alicia. Alicia said music. Okay, come on. Come on. If you feeling you feeling like some music today, come on. Wait a minute. Is that what you mean by that? Because I just took it and ran with it. So let me know. Let me know where you at. Because if that's your word for the day, I love it. Some good old music. Okay. Bada, 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 boom, 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 boom. Yes. Hold on. Indeed. All right. I got blessed. Uh-huh. Overwhelmed. Right. That works. That works. A lot of times what we do is that we don't stand in it and say, hey, this is how I truly feel. What we do is we say things like, oh, well, this is this and that's that. No, we don't have to do that. Be open and honest with yourself about where you're at and what you're doing. Yes. Hey, over there on Podbean. Hey, good morning to you. All right, y'all. So y'all keep them coming. What's one word of how you're feeling today? What's one word of how you're feeling today? Keep them coming. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into it. So this morning, my topic this morning is people's first language. Hey, and good morning. And said, good morning, my beautiful friend. Good morning to you. I like all of that kind of carrying on. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay. Someone said, God bless. Jesus is coming soon. Indeed. God bless you as well. Peace and blessings. Okay. Peace and blessings to you. Okay, so the topic this morning, people's first language, words have meaning. So I originally did a presentation for a couple of years for Project Leap with the Ryan White Planning Council. And it was called People's First, and it's still called People's First Language. And I talk about how language matters, right? Because words have meaning. And a lot of times, what happens is that we don't necessarily know what meanings these words have until we're in a space and a place with different people and different nationalities, different backgrounds, different identities. And then we start to see how these words really land, right? And that's why I say they have meaning. So, on the over the weekend, there was a conversation that was had, and it was about a certain word, right? Someone said that they saw on social media that someone was saying that this word was, they didn't know whether or not it was a good word or a bad word, right? Ann said, today I feel like I could conquer anything. Come on, Ann. I love it. I love it. Better be in that moment and conquer anything. Hey, nephew. Hey, Perky. Good morning. Good morning to you. So, good morning to you all. So, over the weekend, there was a conversation. That was a topic brought to the table of whether or not this word was harmful or hurtful, or whether or not you could use this word, right? And the word, right? The word, I want to make sure that we get that. I'm not going to say the full word, right? in that aspect. However, um, I want to set the stage of where we're at. So we're out, we're eating. We just came from a LGBTQIA plus open mic called Heat, Heart, and Soul, and we are all sitting at the table eating, and someone brought this to the table, right? And y'all, this is what we do, right? This is what we do. We come together, we talk about things, we discuss things because we're all in the community, okay? So, anyways, they bring it to the table and they wanted to know whether or not this word was something that we could use, something that we could be around, and do all of that good stuff, right? Okay, y'all hold that thought. Smiley said, well, Grand Rising, wanted to say I love you. May today bring you joy at every corner. Come on, corners. That's what I'm talking about. How you knew, Smiley, I was going to cut some corners, okay? I received that. And good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. So we're all out and we're eating, and then they bring this topic to the table. And the topic was whether or not this word should be used or whether or not it's bad, it's good, or what's the deal, right? And the word was arpit, put a C in front of that, arpit, muncher. Y'all got me? So the word, y'all, and I'm saying this like this because they're trying to demonetize me. So the word was arpit, put a C in front of it, muncher. And I immediately, off the bat, I waited until they finished, and then I asked, they asked me what I thought, or they were asking the table what they thought, and I said, I don't think that that word is appropriate at all, right? Somebody at the table said they didn't know that it was a bad word. They didn't know that it was something like that. And I said, well, if you can show me in history where this word was a term of endearment, right? It was meant to uplift. It was meant to let you know that you are great and all of those things. Then I'll go with it and do that. But what I know is that in history, because I've been on this earth quite a few years, right? Right. I'm in my 50s now. I've been on this earth for some time, and words like that, right? Words like that were meant to degrade, were meant to belittle. Words like that were meant to come at you, right? Words like that were meant to stigmatize and and traumatize you, right? So I just wanted to know, like, why would we even think about that? So what was happening, they said that they were on social media and somebody said that this word, right, was something that they say all the time to their friends and things like that. And I said, well, you can say that to your friends, right? I said, you know what? Let me stop. Let me use I statements. Okay, let me use I statements because I'm not a lesbian, right? I'm not a lesbian. I'm not someone who is a female, same gender loving. So I can't speak for my lesbian sisters, right? I can't in that aspect. However, in the context of a brave and safe space, right? I can speak to that because I curate spaces and places for people to come and have fun and do things. And so I said, I don't think that that word is appropriate at all, right? Because at the table that we were at, there were 7 individuals, females that were same gender loving. You with me? Y'all, we can say the words how we want to say it, but words have meaning. And so I felt as an ally to my sisters, right, and my brothers, right, I felt that I needed to say something about that. You with me? You with me? Hey, Rochelle, good morning. Hey, Pumpkin Buns. Yes, you said you late, but you made it. You're never late. You're always on time. Indeed. So the word, I want to go back to what the word was. The word was arpit, put a C in front of it, muncher, right? That's what the word was, right? And they were asking whether or not that word was appropriate. And so I want to ask you, my audience, right? Was I going in too hard? Was I really doing it? So I said this, right? All in all, I said I statements. I said, we are all in community. We are all fighting the good fight, especially right now in this world where they're taking words and using them against us and causing us harm and trauma and stigma. I said, to me, that word is not appropriate, right? Someone that was same gender loving said to me that, Titan, you're not going to take that away from me. If I feel like the word doesn't matter or I don't know, then I don't know. And I said, well, here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. As someone who's in the community, a community leader, doing the things and doing all of the things to make my community better, I don't believe, right, that I should be using those words because they are hurtful and they are harmful to my community, right? Again, if you can find somewhere in history where arpit, put a C in front of it, muncher was a term of endearment, it was meant to lift you up, then I can go with it. But we know where that word comes from. We know why people say that word. Nobody said that to you to make you feel better. You with me? So I said that I don't believe, as a black gay man in the LGBTQIA plus community, in my community, doing that I would want those words used around me, right? Or in the spaces that I'm in. And if so, then I don't need to be in those spaces, right? That's I statement. That's me. Y'all let me know if I went too far. Y'all let me know if I'm thinking that. Because I know that out here in this world, people are going to use words, right, that I don't agree with. I'm not saying that you don't have the right to do that, right? Somebody said, well, Titan, you saying like taking away my right to use whatever. No, 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 no. I'm saying if I love you, right, if you're part of my community, if you're my sister, my brother, and all of these things here, right? If you are my people, my village, my tribe, my gang, and my chosen family, then I'm not going to use words like that, no matter what the context is, right? To be able to do that. And I said that I am an elder in this, right? So I want to add in that the person that asked the questions was in their 20s. They were born in the 2000s. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm saying that a lot of times they don't know the struggle that we went through. They don't know the fight that we've had. And so it's up to us to teach one, right? It's up to us to make sure that we are handing it down. That was my thought process. But I hurt somebody's feelings, quote unquote, because they thought I was shutting them down. And I said, I'm not shutting you down. Do you know how many times I have been in a room and people have talked about me, but not knowing they talking about me? And I didn't say anything. Those were years ago. Now, I'm not going to let you come into my space and my place and uproot my peace and then go on. And then not only that, y'all, these are my sisters and brothers in this fight. These are my people. These like I can't tell you what you should say. But I'm saying read the room. If you are out here protecting, if you are out here doing, then why would you even want to use that type of word? Why would you even want to use a derogatory word? Or why would you want to use a word that's going to make somebody feel some kind of way in your space? And y'all, some of y'all may know me, some of y'all may not know me, but y'all been on my show and y'all have followed me on my platforms. This is my thing. I don't want to put no more hurt or harm or stigma or trauma into this world than it already has. You understand what I'm saying? So when you say to me, you say, Titan, this is how I feel, I don't like that, then it's up to Titan to say whether or not I'm going to use it again or do it again. You feel me? But my thing is, tell me in history where arpit, put a C in front of it, muncher was a word of endearment. Tell me, when did it uplift you? Tell me, when did it make you feel good? If you can tell me that, you see what I'm saying? If you can tell me that, then I'll back off, right? But I still won't be attending these functions. I still won't be going out here and doing that because you have no respect for me, right? Now, the person that posed the question, they said they understood, right? And they didn't mean to make, chaos. And no. Because this is what I want you to do. I want you to understand where we're at. I was born in the 70s, right? 70s, 80s, 90s. Those words were used to belittle us, put us in our place, and do all of the things. You with me? And right now, today, they are saying that you cannot use certain words, right? You cannot even be the gender that you feel that you are. You have to be what the government says you should be. Words have meaning. And when I speak of people's first language, the language should be about people first. You feel me? And for you to say, or anybody to say on the internet, on the social media, on the Beyonce's web or whatever it is, for you to say that you don't care about what this word means because you've been using it forever and you're going to keep on using it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. No, 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 not in my space. And then they asked the question. They said, so Titan, you wouldn't come back? No. And I'm that serious. And I'm that serious. Y'all tell me what you think. Because I'm already set in mine. I'm older. You know, like they say, when you older, you set in your ways. Look, if this is me set in my ways, then I'm going to be set. Period. I'm not going to play with y'all like that. Because I have been in too many spaces and places where we have been left out. We have been talked about. We have been ridiculed. We have been talked about under our clothes. And we have not been able to live and truly be who we are. So words have meaning, right? Words have meaning. Hold on, y'all. Seneca said, I don't set the tone, I just move accordingly. And indeed, and Seneca, you know, that's cute now. But let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. If you know anything about me, you come in around me, we're not having that. And I didn't already let y'all know. We're not having that. We're not doing that. No. Because if it's my space, if it's a space that I'm curating, if it's a space that I'm inviting people in, I'm inviting people from different intersections, right? And I don't want to re-traumatize nobody. So I set the scene. I set the standard. I do that. And Seneca, thank you for your comment. We have to always be that way. Because what happens is when we go out into the world, people tell us who we are. Y'all already know. Okay, so words have meaning. Y'all know on here, on this very platform that I'm on, people have said, what about me? People have called me what? People have done that. I can't stop that. Somebody said to me, well, Titan, you knew what this was when you started. You know that this is the beast. And yes, y'all, I get on these platforms all the time. Those words don't affect me, but at one point in my life, they did. At one point in my life, you calling me an abomination was something that hurt me. You calling me issy, agate, all of these things, that hurt me, right? Because I was trying to live my life, I thought, just the way that I could, but people felt they get to put words on me, put their trauma on me. Words have meaning. And so they were not looking at the person. They were looking at what society said I was. That's what they were looking at, right? So they spoke accordingly. But it's wrong when your own community, right? Your own community are taking those words and talking about taking the power back. What's the power in those words? Don't use them. You know what I mean? Because here's my thing. If I am sitting here and I'm using derogatory language and it's language that hurts you, I'm hurting myself because I'm hurting my community. Period. That's what I believe. That's how I feel. And somebody said, well, Titan, that's a lot of fervor you got over there. Yes. Because y'all, it hurts. Somebody is in front of you. Just imagine somebody trying to be themselves, live their life. The world is telling them they can't. They muster up all the strength that they can to go out and walk across a threshold because they are going out with their village, their tribe, their gang, and their chosen family. They people. They know they're going to be protected. And they sit down at a table of their people, of their peers. And their peers start using words that are derogatory and nasty towards them. What do? Now I don't want to go out anymore. Now I don't want to do anything with y'all because I'm afraid I'm not protected. Because once you let one in, you with me? The floodgates open, then what happens? Then what happens? So y'all, I don't ever talk about anything that I have not experienced. I don't ever talk about anything that I don't understand. But if you can tell me, right? And then not only that, somebody said, well, we are the community. Yes, my own community is using derogatory words towards me. Well, Titan, it wasn't towards you, but you put it out in the universe. You put it out in the universe. That's just like when we are out in stores. I'm a big black man. I'm 6'1" and 285. When I go to a store, the people watch me. They follow me around. They make sure. And that's not because they know me. They don't know me from a can of paint, but they know I'm a big black man. And what does black people normally do according to them? I'm using quotation, air quotations, according to them. My own community have called me things that I said that's not how I identify. But they will say, "Oh, girl," right? It's crazy that people that are in the same fight with you, right? I'm not talking about what happened at the table over the weekend. I'm talking about just in general. Because I went up against a couple of community leaders and saying the words that they're saying. Oh, I'm done. What time you don't talk to them? I don't. My cutoff game is strong. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. You're in my community, taking up space, taking up money, doing all of the things, but you are talking about my community as if they are dogs and nasty, as if they shouldn't be doing this. Somebody shouldn't do this, right? Do that. When I stand up for my trans sisters and brothers, they didn't have to ask me to do that, but that's my family. When I stand up for my non-binary or gender non-conforming individuals, they didn't have to ask me to do that. That's my family. And I say things. People have told me, "Oh well, you know what? Oh, you a daddy's girl, and you this and you that." And our own community will come at you sideways with words that have meaning. So I'm gonna go back to the word, right? I'm gonna go back to the word. Arpit, put a C in front of it. Muncher. Is that a word that you all use? Is that a word that you allow your community to use when you have same gender loving females, lesbians in your family, your chosen family? No. And so y'all, nothing against the person that posed the question, because I rather you ask. We were all elders at that table. We all have been in this game for 10, 20 years. So I say that we're elders. This game of life, this game of LGBTQIA plus, right? Regardless of when the letters came, we have already been in this game. In this game of fighting a good fight, we've been in this game. And I am 54. Soon, March the 19th, I'll be 55. I've been in this game for a minute and a half, 3/4, and 59 dimes. You feel what I'm saying? So I done been here for a while. And I think it's up to us to teach the younger generation that's coming in what it is. But what was said at the table, and this is something that I want us to get away from. Two things were said. One was the old gays always stressing about stuff. We don't know nothing about that. We don't know nothing about that. So let's stop that right here today. Hold on, y'all. Let me sip, because I'm gonna have to sip on this, because we're gonna talk about this thing right here. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. No, no, no. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. Ring, ring. Hello. Yes. Mm-hmm. You seem to always have a question when I'm on live. Yes, I'm about to tell them about it. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because I believe it's our responsibility. No, no, no. You're right. You're right. No, no, no. I'm well within my means of doing that. I'm grown. I'm grown. Indeed, indeed. Well, thank you so much. Let me get back to my live. Thank you for calling. And yes, I will express every detail. And thank you so much. Okay. Uh-huh. Bye-bye. See, when you got people that's calling you and they want you to make sure that you do what you say that you're going to do. So I'm going to talk about it. Number one, the old gays, the old people, right? Y'all older people always so sensitive and this and that. Well, we sensitive because we've been through some crap. We're sensitive because we have been down on the front lines fighting this good fight. We were crawling so you could walk. We were walking so you could run. You with me? And y'all, the day that I said that I was no longer going to hide, I was no longer going to be in the background, I was no longer going to do that, I knew what it was. I talked to my mother before I did this. I talked to my friends and my family, my chosen family, before I did this. And my mama said to me, she said that the thing that she's worried about, right, is that I will be hurt or harmed by saying who I truly am, standing in who I truly am, and being authentically who I am. That means that I made the announcement, I put on all my social media that I'm a black gay man living with HIV. Period. And I don't mince words with that. But y'all, this is what we got to do, right? People are sensitive because words have meaning. Those words have been used against us. But here's the thing. I don't want you to just take it like, oh, well, this is what it is, or he just going off. No, no, no. I want you to understand where it comes from. So at the table that night, I wanted them to understand where it came from. Right? I wanted them to make it make sense. If you're going to use these words, if you're going to use them, what does that look like to these 7 ladies that are same gender loving at this table? What does that look like for them? Not only that, what does that look like for you? That you would want to use a word that was meant to degrade and diminish who you are. And I'm still waiting for them to tell me Google history where that word was a term of endearment. So then they said, well, what about Ranny? Put a T in front of it. Because T.S. Madison uses that word. I said, I'm not going to take anything from T.S. Madison at all. T.S. Madison is her lived experience. That's what she does, and that's what it is. In my house, right? In my space, in my place, we don't use that word at all. At all. We don't. Well, why can she use it and you not use it? I didn't say that she couldn't. I didn't say that I couldn't use the word. I said I choose not to for my trans sisters and brothers and people of trans experience. Period. Now, if you had used that word before, there came the other words, right? And you felt okay with that. But again, right? Tell me where that word was a term of endearment. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. If you can tell me that it was a term of endearment, then yes. By all means, do what you do. But in my house, in places that I curate, in spaces that I bring together, we don't do that. That's just like the N word. I'm not taking no power back from that. It has been used to hurt and harm my people, my culture for millennia. No, what am I doing? I don't do it. Words have meaning. And a lot of times you don't know what those meanings are because You choose to ignore the fact of how somebody feels. You choose to ignore the fact that you've been using the word, right? No consequences because you can use the word. You grown. Yes, you can. But what about my people? Anne said, and words can cut you like a knife. The tongue is a sword. And you are right. You are right. Seneca, I will check a total stranger on some BS, especially around my kids. That's right there. That right there. Pumpkin said, we give words power. If we ignore it and push them out of our space, we take back our power. And so, with that, Pumpkin, and I'm glad you said that because a lot of times people say that I cannot ignore that, right? Words, right? We give words power. But here's the thing, when words have been used to hurt and harm and stigmatize and traumatize people, it is hard, right, for us to push them out of our space. It's hard for us to do that because the world uses them all the time. My thing is, don't use them, but make sure that you understand and you let your people know that we don't do that around here. You may go over here where there's 100,000 of people and they may use the word. But over here with my 50, 60, 100 people that I didn't curate a space with, we don't do that. That's how we take the power back. You feel what I'm saying? We take the power back by letting our community know, letting our people know, letting our culture know that we're not going to use those words like that. That's how we take the power back. I'm not taking no power back by just ignoring it or using the word. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, y'all, I'm saying this way because some people think that I'm over here going over and beyond and I'm just really stressing. But y'all, we just said it. Words can hurt. They can cut like a knife. Like words can hurt. And you will walk around with them words attached to you all your life. Those words will stop you from going places and doing things and being great. Words have meaning. And let me say this. This is a teachable moment here. What I know is that if you continue to call somebody something, they may not believe it the first 10 times. But by the 25th, the 95th time, oh, they're going to start believing it. So I am stupid. So I don't deserve. So I can't be. You see what I'm saying? Words have meaning. Now, if words didn't have meaning, huh? Huh? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought somebody said something. If words didn't have meaning, what would they be here for? In order for you to claim it, you must name it. You must speak it. In order for you to put it out in the universe, you got to let it go. Words have meaning. Now remember, you all want to get biblical. Why do words exist? Uh, uh, mhm, mhm. Words have meaning. We can convey to you how we feel. We can convey to you knowledge and understanding through words. God was the Word, and the Word was God. Words have meaning. Words can hurt. Y'all ever heard the angels speaking their name? Y'all ever heard of the trumpets? The sound? Words have meaning. There is nothing that you do on this earth that you have conquered, you have claimed, you have been through, up and down and around, you have had a diagnosis, anything that didn't come without words. That's where we at. That's where we at. Dave said people be on some BS these days. People need to let people live and leave people alone. You're right. Some of the younger generations were not raised properly. Me being in my 70s is hard. That's it right there. And that's it. A lot of times, and I'm not going to say that it's not that they were raised properly, but I think that in each era, each space and time continuum that we're in, we only can do what we only can do. We only know what we know, right? But when you have lived across decades, when you have lived in spaces and places and you've traveled around the world and you've been through some things, you know something. And I don't ever want to bring that home. I don't ever want to bring it to a space where my people cannot feel and be, have love, and do the things. I don't ever want to do that. You know what I mean? So if I can have the opportunity to talk to someone about people's first language and words have meaning and let them know where I'm at, that's not what we're doing. That's not acceptable. Then that's what I'm going to do. Period. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. Daniel said, thank you for the insight you shared. Thank you so much. Hey, Marnina, good morning. Margaret said, oh, I got the red handset too. You do? Okay, that phone be ringing sometimes. Hey, Reed, thank you for the follow. Thank you for being in. Hey, Royalty. Margaret said that part. Hey, Chinese, good morning. We have to actively reject the things that harm others. And that part right there. Hey, Dang Rockin', good morning. Hey, Margaret, thank you for the repost. Dave said, I felt those words for years, and it does hurt, and it does cut like a knife, especially with a disability. Indeed. Indeed. Hey, Courtney, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. And said, let go and let God. Indeed. Let go and let God. And I'm going to let go and let God, but I'm going to tell you about it first. Y'all, because that's the thing that we don't want to do. We don't want to sit up here and tell somebody how we truly feel, but we got to do that. We got to let people know that you brought something into my space, into my ecosystem that harmed me, that hurt me, that gave me trauma. And so that way I don't re-traumatize you or harm or hurt you. That's what I'm going to do. You with me? And we got to make sure that we are there. Keisha said, absolutely. Okay. Hey, Bianca, good morning. Bianca said, we have to stand on all tens when it comes to us. Indeed, we got to do that. Hey, the King HNIC, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Hey, Bree, good morning. Bree said, it's not okay. It creates an emotional, unsafe environment. It's not a term of endearment. Some people reference it without adequate knowledge of the term, its history, or how it makes others feel. And that part, Bree, that's all that's all I'm saying. If you can show me in history where it was a term of endearment, where it uplifted you, it made you feel happy, it made you feel this and that, then we can go with it. But no, that's not what we're doing. Hey, the King. The King said, good morning, Positive King. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Bree said, agree. Keisha said, you feel how you feel and you have a right/choice of whether you are okay with certain words. Indeed. Indeed. Because here's the thing. You know how people always say it's a little term of endearment, itch. You know what I'm saying? Right? But if that word has been used against you in a negative way, it's not no term of endearment for you. But it may be for the next person standing to the next person. But it's up for you to let them know, hey, I don't like that. That's not my name. Oh, I'm just playing. Well, yeah, you play somewhere else. Don't play with me like that. But then people want to get upset with you because you didn't sit up here and told them that's not what we're doing. Hey, Keisha, good morning. Look, all them O's and R's and INGs. Hey, New Gam Gam, good morning. New Gam Gam said, good morning, beautiful. Good morning. Yes, good morning to you. Good morning to you all. So, y'all, that's what I'm talking about this morning. I just want to make sure that we understand that I'm not here to hurt or harm anybody. I'm here to make sure that the world is a safer, braver space, right? For what I can do in my space, in my time, right? But I do have to say this, right? I want you all to make sure that if you are not okay with it, you let them know that you're not okay with it. Do not sit in the midst of chaos and destruction just because. And this may be a family member. This may be somebody that you think you love and you lay with and do all of the things. Protect your peace. Protect your peace. Hey, Queen, good morning. You know I love all those O's and R's and INGs, okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, how you, Chris? Good morning. Say good morning, sunshine, over on Insta. Hey, good morning. Hey, Shadon McCants. Good morning. Hey, Fax. Good morning. Good morning to you. Let's see here. Let's see here. Well said. Hello, bro. Yes, sir. Hey, Fax over on Podbean. Ronan says, well said. Where are you from? I'm from H-Town. I'm from H-Town, Houston, Texas. Okay. Hey, Drew, good morning. Drew says, not only do I let them know I don't like it, but I hold them accountable. And y'all, that's another thing because what I keep hearing all the time, right, on social media is that they don't know. How you don't know? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be real with you. You know a fork don't go in an electric socket. You know if you break a glass on the floor, you don't walk in there barefooted. How you don't know? And then we got everything at our fingertips now, on our wrists. You can make calls, answer calls. You can surf the web and do everything on your watch. How you don't know? Y'all got to stop letting them people slide. Stop letting them slide by with that I don't know. Well, they wasn't born then. Well, get the knowledge. That's why your elders are here at this table. Get the knowledge and understand. And I'm not taking anything away from those young individuals that were there. They were very knowledgeable and they took what we said and they understood it. They kept it because they're part of the community. I love that. But it's up to us, right? It's up to us. And so here's the thing. It's not your responsibility. But if you are a pillar of the community, if you are someone that is a leader in the community, then it's your responsibility to do that. I mean, seriously. Seriously. Okay, Keisha. Keisha talking about ha ha. You know a fork don't go in an electric socket. You either gonna know one way or the other. Voluntary or involuntary once you get shocked. So you gonna know. So now that you know, are you gonna put a fork in an electric socket again? I doubt it. I doubt it. When you're a child and you don't know, you don't know. But it's up to the elders, your parents, your teachers, your ancestors to teach you what that is. And then Drew said, if they keep saying it around me, I stop speaking to them. Drew, I don't know if you were on earlier, but I told them my cutoff game is strong. I told them people I won't be coming back around. I'm not going to do it because it's harmful to me as well. It's harmful to me as well. If it's harming somebody in my community, it's harming me. Period. Okay, Drew, good morning. Drew said it's crazy that they want to hold onto a word and the associated trauma. And Drew, that's my point. My point is you're telling me that this word, and I'm asking, and Bree talked about it over here, it's not a term of endearment. So why are we holding on to this word? Right? Why are we holding on to this word? Then somebody said, like, we took the power back for the N word. It's not a hard ER. It's, we took the power. There was no power in that word. You know the biggest wolf in sheep clothing that has ever happened, that they have taught you, they have led you to believe the very traumatizing, stigmatizing language that they use to address you, that it was against the law for you to read and have knowledge. You were considered less of a human because of your black culture, because of where you are from, because of your skin color. Follow me with this. All of these words are rooted in nastiness and ugliness and chaos and destruction. And you can sit and best believe that they are sitting back saying, look at them. I gave them a code of destruction and they just been using it. Talking about they took the power back. It was never theirs to begin with. And y'all can argue with your mama on that one. Don't argue with me. When you have been in this world, when you have traveled, when you have listened to the elders and your ancestors, when you have got to the point to where you understand what the fight was for and why you are able to do the things that you are able to do now. But now you can see with this current administration and things, now you can see why we have been fighting all this time. They don't know. They know what they're doing. And you got to be careful because they're going to put it out there 4, 5, 10 years early and come back and pick it up 10 years later. And you will be none the wiser. Because you've been over here wanting to use words that you think that we should be able to use because we're able to use them. There are a lot of things in this world that are not for us. That were built to hold us down. That were built to keep us where we were. That were built for us to still be slaves. And I'm talking about people of color. And we want to use those things that they gave us, those tools that they gave us to uplift, to take the power back. Once y'all realize that the power was never ours to begin with. If you have the power to change something, then I ask that you do it. But I don't ask that you stay the same and try to take the power back from something that's been used to hurt and harm us for years, thousands of years. Dave said, I don't know my people know WTF what they're doing. Exactly. And that's why I don't let nothing pass nobody. You're not going to sit up here and tell me that you don't know, because I know you know. I know you know. Right? Because if you throw this out there, right? If you throw this out there, I'm telling you what it is. Okay? How did you come to know this? How did you come to know this? That's what I want to know. Drew said, why can't we get creative and create new words and terms of endearment? And then Drew, I don't even think that we have to create. We got enough words in this world of love and peace and happiness. Why would we choose to go and use those, right? But I'm with you on that. Because why would we take something that was used derogatory towards us to make it a term of endearment? When did it become endearment? I love you. That was fire. That was fire. You did that. You made it happen. You with me? And that's the thing that I think we need to really look at. It's not so much whether or not you use the word, whether or not the word was this or that, right? But it is that. Because now I've told you that the word affects me this way. The word comes across me this way. The word cuts like this. And then you choose to still use it? Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. We good. We good. We ain't got to ever be. Drew said, yes, sir. I wasn't here earlier, but I totally agree. Indeed. I would because I have an electrified personality. You know what, Dave? You sure right. Go on and put it in there. Go on and put it in there. Doc said, look at this perfect entity of light. What a bright, beautiful sun, my brother of this earth. Indeed. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings to you. And good morning. Good morning, Doc. Good morning. I hope you stay, come back, and do all of that, right? Hey, Charmaine. Good morning. Hey, DC. Good morning. Queen said, okay, at Doc Facts. All right. I love y'all. Dave said, people of color don't mean shit to me. Respect for respect, love for love, etc. And you're right. And you're right. But here's the thing though. When this world has made something, right, an issue, a problem, or concern, there's no way for us to deny it or overlook it or pass it by. And that's why I say that. Because a lot of times what people will do, people will say to you, well, that doesn't matter, or you shouldn't look at it like that way, or why you feel like that. That's because we come from different spaces and places. My journey is not your journey, right? And it's up to you whether or not you're going to respect what my journey is by listening to what I'm saying and what I'm doing. Period. Period. Doc said, I'm an artist and I have lots of power. Come on, Doc. That's it right there. Drew said, yes, agreed. Hey, Kimberly Nicole. Good morning. Hey, Liz. Thank you for the follow. Doc, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you on that. Thank you so much, Liz, for that, for the gifts and all of that. Hey, yeah, yes, Daryl. Yes. Okay, I'm talking this morning. Yeah. We're going to talk about it this morning. People's first language. Yeah, we got to stop. We got to stop thinking that it's okay for us to do the things that we do just because we're grown. Now, if somebody was to come at you sideways, talking out the side of their neck, that's it. How would you feel? Fact. Live our journey, brother, and keep doing you. I've enjoyed your lives since I've met you here. Indeed, Dave, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. And here's my thing, y'all. I said to my God, and in my prayer and my meditation, that I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. I don't want anybody to have to do the things and do that. Now I know you have your own journey and your own life. However, if I can lend anything to this journey, I can lend anything to being better and having better things, then that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure that we are good. Okay. So I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Hold on. Let me see. I got some things over here real quick. Let me go over. Drew was like, I was in the gym yesterday and this dude was on a speaker using the word repeatedly. And that's it. Like, what the, as Kate sees it, said, good morning, everybody. Hey, Kate, good morning. Drew was like, I was like, really? And that's it. So here's my thing. So when I started curating these spaces and places, right, and I started inviting people out, I had to make sure. One thing that you're going to know about Titan, if I say that you're going to come, if I want you to come, I've already made sure I hold space for you and I hold space for that. And I don't have time for people that don't want to respect the space. You understand what I'm saying? Don't want to respect your peace. And that's the reason why. That's the reason why. So when I curate spaces and places, I'm inviting people and people are quick to say yes to come because they know that I'm going to always make sure that space is protected as best I can. Now, I can't protect you from every single thing in this world, but if I set up something, if I bring something together, you are going to know that I have taken into account that my spectrum, LGBTQIA plus, all the way around, has been thought about. I vetted. I made sure that it's friendly, that it's open, that it's all, like, I've made sure of that. Why? Because I've been in spaces and places where they have talked about me and I'm standing right in there and I didn't know if I say anything that I would be safe getting up out of there. And so I have this grant and I was talking about I applied for this grant and I received this grant to talk about HIV criminalization, right? And so I want to mention this before I get off of here because words have meaning. I remember when I was first diagnosed, um I had gotten better, gained weight, started going back out in the public because I had been in the house. I had locked myself away for a long time. And so I met somebody, right? And I still don't know how to navigate this because I was diagnosed with AIDS and only having 4 T cells. So now when I got to a place of being undetectable, right, I decided, and this is still early on in my diagnosis, I decided that I'm going to go to a party with someone that I met. Somebody was interested in me. And so I thought that it was a good thing. So we go to the party, and I don't know why then, but I didn't know any better. So people were saying, things in social media, on the news and everything, like you need to disclose. You got to disclose. Don't be faking nobody. Da 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 da. That's what they were saying. Blah 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 blah. And I kept saying, I don't know, I don't know, like it wasn't safe because back in 2005, people were still getting hurt and harmed and unalived, right, for AIDS, right, because it was still AIDS. It wasn't HIV like everybody says now, right? And I was diagnosed with AIDS, right? So fast forward, I go to this party and everybody has been in my ear telling me, right? Not someone living with HIV, but those that are not living with HIV telling me that I should disclose because it's wrong for me to hide and try to manipulate somebody and all this kind of stuff. So I'm at this party and the guy is liking me, all of this stuff. He fine, I'm fine. We doing the do. I didn't gain my little weight back, little, got a little 32, 34 in the waist, and I'm thinking I'm doing the things. My skin done cleared up, my hair done grew out, and I'm funky fresh and I'm looking good, smelling good, and I'm thinking I'm finna do the do. Right? I'm like, hey, I'm the cat's meow. And so while we were out like at the balcony area, he tried to lean in and kiss me. And I said, stop, I need to tell you something, right? So I commenced to tell him that I'm someone living with HIV. Well, at the time, it was that I was HIV positive because that's what the word was they were using. And the way he looked at me, now, mind you, no, I'm gonna just tell you the story. The way he looked at me and the way he paused, and then the way his eyes darted toward the inside of the party, back at me, inside the party, back at me, inside the party, back at me. Then he beat feet into the party. So I go in behind him because I'm like, where is he going? Maybe he's going to the bathroom. Maybe he's going to go outside and do that. He went into the middle of this party. And as loud as he could, he said, let me use correct words. The agate, put an F in front of it, is trying to kill me. Because he got the gift that keeps on giving. Back then, that was the little cute saying that they used to say that you had AIDS. Right? Uh-huh. That you had AIDS. And so he said that in there, but he kept saying that I tried to kill him. Excuse me, y'all. I can't, they're going to try to demonetize me. Unalive him. He kept saying it. And it was like one of those movies. Everything got quiet. The music, I don't even think the music stopped. But in my world, the music stopped. Everybody turned and looked at me. And then it was like anger, right? So y'all, I don't know what was going to happen. I don't know what was going on. I beat feet back to that balcony, swung around the side of that balcony, dropped down, right? Look, I was a lot thinner and a lot quicker back then, baby. That military had taught me something. But anyways, I jumped down. We was up like I was on the second floor. I jumped down to the steps, took those steps, ran out, got in my car, and I left, right? But here's the thing. Words have meaning. That person didn't know what those words were going to do to me. And I didn't know either. And so now That right there, that instant, that right there, words have meaning. So some people are not going to be okay with the words that you are using. And sometimes words can bring harm and hurt to people without you knowing it. But if you already know that these words are going to do those things and you still use them, he knew what him saying that I was trying to unalive him, he knew what that was going to do. And he used those words. Now I want to fast forward. I told y'all I have everything on my social media now. But disclosure became at my discretion, my safety, my physical safety, my mental safety, my emotional safety, my spiritual safety. Disclosure became something that I guarded wholeheartedly. I didn't tell nobody because of that instance right there. Words have meaning. He knew what he was doing. And you're going to tell me that you don't know. You knew something was going to happen. You knew that the current climate was this, right? Just like when somebody says, oh, I'm going to call the cops on you. They already know what they're doing. So that's why I don't give people a pass. You don't get to say, I don't know. You don't get to be willy foo-foo. You don't get to be dumb, dumber. You don't get to do those things because you know. And if you didn't know, then why did you choose those words that way? Why did you say that like that? So I'm going to fast forward. 2 years ago, I run into the same person. Just so happens, I'm at an event for HIV awareness and criminalization. And who walks through the door? He looks at me and I look at him. He looks at me the whole time. It's about an hour then passed. Finally, he comes my way. And I said, okay, Lord, I don't know what you got going on right now, but you know, I don't cut for him. I don't play. I don't play like that. Look, I'm good. But we're gonna thank God for favor because you know, I'm not opposed to rearranging no furniture up in here. If he say the wrong thing, come the wrong way, you know what I'm saying? Because that memory is still fresh in my head. Words have meaning. Hold on. He comes over and he says, hey, Titan, can I talk to you for a second? And I said, sure. Now, at the time, he knew my government name, right? My entertaining name, my performance name is Titan Capri. So that's how long ago this was, right? 20 years ago, about 18 years ago. So it was a while ago. But he said, well, hey, Titan, can I talk to you? And I said, sure. He said, I just want to, I've been going through some things and I would like to see if you could help me out. Somebody told me that if I needed something, I need to talk to you and you'd be able to get me, you know, to where I need to be and so forth and so on. And in my mind, y'all, I'm still thinking, I don't know why you even talking to me, right? But my spirit is saying, Titan, just listen. So I listen. And he says, well, yeah, you know, I got this going on. So if we could exchange numbers, you know, that would be cool because everybody keeps saying I need to talk to you. And I looked at him and I said, why would I exchange numbers with you? And he was like, because I need help. And they told me that you would be able to help me. And I said, are we not going to talk about the elephant in the room? Are we not going to talk about 18 years ago or whenever it was? Are we not going to talk about that? Oh, that. Yeah, that. Then he says, well, you know, it was new. It was this. And y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something. You know, my spirit told me to listen, right? But my spirit didn't say that I could not shut that down. My spirit didn't say that I couldn't do what I knew. You know what I mean? So I said, no, 2 tears in a bucket, mother. I ain't got time for this, bro. Go step. Let it be what it is. Let it be what it is. And he said, no, but wait. I was diagnosed in August and I really need help. Oh no. Oh no. So y'all, I really wanted to be petty.com. I really wanted to be petty.net. I really wanted to be petty dot on the interweb. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to say, oh no, y'all, he trying to kill me. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. But I looked at him and I said, you know what? I am much better than I was back then. But what we're not going to do is act like you didn't try to harm or hurt me during that time with your words, what you said at that party. And he just stood there and looked at me and he was like, oh, you remember that? I said, yes, I remember that. I said, because every fiber of my being wants to go to Why Did I Get Married? Wants to go to Why Did I Get Married? And pick up one of these bottles and crack you across the skull. That's what I really want to do right now, because that was that. But in that moment, he said, I need help and I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing then, but now since I've been diagnosed, right, that I've been having a hard time. I've been really struggling. And I didn't know what to say to you when they told me that they were going to contact you so that you could talk to me. You could help me out. And I said, yeah, Drew, we're going to thank God for growth. I said, you know what? You're right, Lord. You're right. I said, well, thank you for the apology and that, but I will help you. I will get you to where you need to be. And that's it. And we done. And that's it. And we done. Like, I don't have time for all of that. Thank you for the apology. I appreciate it, right? Because I'm in a different space of place. It doesn't say that I need to, somebody said, oh, but Titan, you need to forgive and forget. No. Let me express something to you. I'm not forgiving them for what they did in that aspect, right? You understand what I'm saying? I accept the apology, but we are not friends. Let's not get it twisted. We are not friends. You don't deserve to be in my space, in my place. I'm going to hold you accountable. Even though that was a long time ago, right? Words have meaning. Those words carried with me. You feel me? So I'm not forgiving you. I'm forgiving myself for holding on to those words all that time and letting those words carve out the world that I live in. True, right? However, I'm still going to do what I was put on this earth to do, what I believe I was put on this earth to do. And so I did just that. I helped him. I sent him over to someone. I called up, made sure that he was good. And that was it. That was it. That's all the forgiving that I need to do. You with me? Words have meaning. And y'all, I didn't know until I saw him walk through those doors at that event that those words still had meaning for me. They still hurt. They still cut. So when I say words have meaning, now y'all, I ain't gonna lie to you. It did flash. It did flash, baby. I wanted to take all 285 pounds of this right here and rearrange some furniture. And I would have made sure that I was right in my mind by rearranging furniture. How dare you? I'm not in the business of forgiving and forgetting like that. I'm not going to ever forget because I need to know what that is. You with me? Indeed, Kate, indeed. The words you speak are spells for better or worse. When you put it out into the universe, you got to understand the power that you hold in your hands. When you put it out in the universe, it can go left or right if you don't have meaning behind it. And you already have meaning. You already have meaning. Hey, Queen. Queen said he was well aware of it bringing some kind of reaction from the environment. That's why he yelled. Indeed. That's why he yelled. Because he knew. He knew. That's just like you get people online now that say things and do things, and then they be like, oh, well, I didn't know that it was going to land like that. Yes, you did. Or you had an inkling that it was going to go left because it sure wasn't right. You knew that. You knew it. People's first language. When we use language, when we use words, I want you to put the person first and understand, how would you feel? Has there ever been a time that you felt like somebody played in your face with their words? How did you feel when they played in your face? And for that, that's why I say people's first language. Words have meaning, and those words will stay with you. The words that your mother said to you, the words that your father said to you, the words that your family said to you, the words that that judge said to you, the words that the cops said to you, the words that your boo, your baby, your thing said to you, the words that your wife and your husband say to you, the words that your kids say to you, they stick and they have meaning. But then you want me just to negate the fact that you just harmed and hurt me with your words, and I'm supposed to keep on moving like it ain't crap. Nah, those days are done. Those days are done. Protect your peace. Let your peace be the foremost thing that you protect first than anything else. Because once you open the gate, who the hell left the gate open? Once you open the gate, everything else will come in. You know how they say once you open Pandora's box, you can't close it? That's the same thing. If you don't take people, put them in the front before you start using those words, then you're going to always go down the wrong road. You're going to always hit a speed bump, a detour. You're going to always have that. But if you take in consideration who you're talking to and where you're talking to them at and how you're talking to them, you won't ever have to worry about that. And no, I'm not walking on eggshells. I'm saying I love my life enough to know better and to do better. And I expect the same from you, especially if I consider you part of my village, my tribe, my gang, or my chosen family. Sometimes the person that harms you the most is sitting right in front of your face. And because you have been born and bred with this for so long, you believe that it ain't nothing wrong with it. And that's the fool's gold. It looks pretty. It looks like gold. But once you get some water and some condensation to it, it can turn your neck green. Okay, Margaret said, now forgive yourself. You don't have to reconnect. You don't. You don't. Pat said, can't stop laughing. Okay. Kate said that the words you speak are spells for better, for worse. I read that. Yeah, that's it. And Queen said, karma will teach you a valuable lesson. The very thing that he said to me at that party, he said to somebody else once he was diagnosed stage 3 HIV, AIDS. This world has a way of teaching you without ever giving you a lesson plan, without ever giving you a curriculum. This world has a way of giving you street justice. Be careful. Be careful. Pat says some people will do some things to you where you want to tear their head off. They know, they know. And I'm with you on that, Pat. They know. Because I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you like this. Me and my mama laugh about this all the time. But back in the day, I was a whippersnapper. Look, I'm going to use an old school word. We would fight and we would talk about it later. I ain't have time for it. All you had to do was say my mama. And we was rearranging furniture. And if we was outside, we was tearing down trees and bushes. Like that's just the way that it was. And then, like I said, I want to thank God for favor. Because here's the thing. So once you put it out there, right, then you cannot be responsible for how it comes back to you. You feel me? Because a lot of times what people will do is they will say, oh no, this and that. Like, have you seen those social media posts where people are just going around and hitting people or pranking them? And then the person tears their head off and they say, oh, it's just a prank. It's a little too late now. I don't know that it's a prank. And you playing in my face. You don't know what I done been through. You don't know where I done been. You don't know how traumatized that just made me. Or like I remember there was one post where this woman goes up and she slaps a man or something like that, and he pounces on her like boom, 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 boom. And they was like, oh, that's too much. You don't have to do that. Too much? Why was it too much? It wasn't too much for her to put her hands on me. She had no business touching me. But you don't get the right to tell me how much I give you back. Okay, Dave said, I'm very guilty of rearranging. Dave, let me tell you. Let me tell you. My mama used to tell me that I don't hit a female, right? I don't hit a female. So when back in the day, right, people were fighting and felt like they could just slap you and do whatever, all this other kind of stuff like that. That's when I didn't want to put my hands on people because I didn't know how to stop. Once I put my hands on people, I would just rearrange. I would just move them with my body. Just move them. Move them so much so that I got expelled for 30 days for a whole semester. Anyways, look, that was then. This is now. That's not what I do. I'm your mild-mannered Clark Kent. But every now and then, you don't want that Superman to act a dang on fool and rearrange all the furniture in your house. We don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen. My friend told me one time, she said, oh yeah, I know you was mad. And I said, why you know I was mad? Because your nostrils were flaring. She said you was looking at them. You would not take your eyes off of them, and your nostrils were flaring just like a bull. Like she said, and I just kept saying, Lord, don't let my friend say, Lord, don't let my friend do nothing. Don't let my friend do nothing. And she said, what's funny is that you moved away. You told me, and y'all, this is so true, but I didn't remember any of this until she told me. But she said, you moved me to the side, protecting me. And she said, and you moved toward the exit. And she said, your nose was flaring. Your nostrils were flaring like you was ready to pounce. And I said, no, girl, I didn't do that. I don't do those things. Yeah. Yeah. Baby. Queen said, you are free to do and say what you want, yet you are not exempt of the consequences. Come on. Not exempt of the consequences. Don't play. Okay. Keisha said, obedience. Yes, you were being obedient to your promise in that hospital bed. Yes, indeed, Keisha. I was being obedient. I told my God, if you get me up out this hospital bed, that I'm going to do what you put me on this earth to do, right? Help people, make sure that nobody have to experience what I experienced, right? Do what you put me on this earth to do, and that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. Yes, indeed. Keisha talking about exactly you. Okay, because you know. I would tell people in a minute, right? Something go down, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to grab you, right? I'm going to grab you. And if you pull away from me, you on your own. But I'm going to protect you. I'm going to make sure that we good because that's what we do. That's what we do. Okay? Keisha talking about the CD selling lady at Home Depot. Protector. Okay. Keisha, you ain't gonna never let me live that down, baby. That lady had rolled up on us like we was in a training bra. Okay. What you want? Oh my God, Keisha, I'm laughing. That's so funny. Keisha said, uh, look, I don't wait. Look. We didn't know her from a can of paint. We didn't know what she was doing. We didn't know what she was doing. But she was about to get put in that trunk. If she'd have jumped too, if she'd have jumped fly, she would have about been in that trunk. Dave says, sad part is I almost unalived him. I hurt him so bad. Now I've come to learn fighting is not my thing. And y'all, this is the thing. And Dave, I'm with you on that. I tell people all the time, if you don't want it back, if you don't want a two-piece and a biscuit, well then don't make the order. You feel me? Don't roll up through the drive-through and thinking I can't get you because you're in the drive-through. If you put up there, you make the order for a two-piece and a biscuit, it is up to me how I give it to you. You have no say-so over that. So if you go over here picking, you go over here playing the game, you go over here acting a damn fool, and then you want to sit up here and, oh, now I gotta use caution. Oh no, you don't get to dictate that. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is something me and my mama talked about, right? Because I told my mama, I said, you know what? I really didn't want to do anything. When I took that stuff to that school in my backpack, I wasn't gonna use it. But why did I take it? Y'all, my backpack had a rake. I can laugh about this now. A ball peen hammer and a knife. Zensu, to be exact. What was I doing? They had hurt me. Matter of fact, karma. My grandmother dropped me off at the front of the school. I walked in, went to first period, which a homeroom, went to there, so I was being counted for the day. I can speak on this now because I'm much older and, I done made peace with this. But at the time, I walked straight through those doors of Jesse H. Jones, went to my first period, made sure that I was accounted for. I walked straight. I went downstairs, walked straight down that hallway, out the back, straight out the gate, and went and got on went and got on the bus to go to Sharpstown Mall. Now, on my way to the bus, 5 people in my neighborhood jumped me. And y'all, yeah, they had all kind of things. They jumped me, beat me up pretty bad, took my shoes, took my bag, because I had a leather bag back then. And if y'all don't know me, I love bags. And took my chains, because back then herringbones were in. And I had saved up my money and went and bought me a herringbone, a flat herringbone. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all, anyway. I'm a little older, so y'all got to know what that is. Anyway, and so I was going to skip with my friends and we were going to do, but them guys got me first. Yep. Beat me up pretty bad. But when I went back to school, yeah, my backpack was full of things. Yep. And let me tell y'all, I got back. I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm in the gym, up on the bleachers, on the third bleacher from the top. And I'm sitting there. Everybody was like, where you been? Blah, 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 blah. I was out for a couple of days. I got suspended and, I got expelled and all that kind of stuff. I go back to school and literally, and I'll never forget, I got expelled and I went to Bay City to be with my cousin. At the time, my cousin had gotten hurt and I went to Bay City because I wasn't allowed back at school, right? But I remember this because I remember going to Bay City and my Aunt Pick was always cooking and, stuff like that. I love my Aunt Pick. Anyway, so I remember that. So I had the best summer or the best next semester or the last 30 days that I could ever have. But yeah, so I get to school. This is before I go to be with my aunt and my cousin down in Bay City. But anyways, I get to school, I'm up on the bleachers, and they walk in the gym. Y'all, I'm gonna be through in just a second. I'm gonna tell y'all the story. And so words have meaning. They came in throwing those words, calling me the F word, calling me all this kind of stuff like this. They gonna whoop my again, and they gonna do all of this stuff like that. But in my mind, right? In my mind, you don't know what I know. One of them went to the other door to be a lookout. Y'all, this is how they had already planned this out. They had to. So one of them went to the other door at Jones to be a lookout. The other one was over by the big fan. There was a huge fan in the gym because they used to get really, really hot. You know what I mean? So it was a huge fan in there, right? They turned the fan on so that it would be noise so nobody could hear, right? At least that's what I'm thinking. So I pull my bag down in front of me, sit it in between my legs, open it up, put my hand down in it, and I'm watching them. And the one guy starts coming up the bleachers, right? This is a little story time. And one day I'll tell the whole story of how it all started and all of that good stuff like that. But he comes up the bleachers, talking all that noise. Words have meaning, right? Didn't put the person first, didn't think about how I was feeling in that moment because they had already jumped me down the street and all that kind of stuff like that, which in reality, I said I should have never skipped school. I should have stayed at school. Then that probably would have never happened. But anyways, I digress. He comes up the bleachers, talking that noise. Oh, you a punk, you this, you a agate, you all this other stuff like that. And we're going to do this and this and here. Give me your bag. Right? I had another bag. And back in the day, I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, leather bags were like really in, but it was like a satchel bag that I had. And so, yeah, watching A Different World, in A Different World, they had the little satchel bags. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay. So think about the bag in A Different World, satchel bag, kind of like trail ride, thing like that. Anyway, let me finish. So he comes up the bleachers doing all of that. I don't know what's going to happen. Y'all, I reach in my bag and grab the first thing that I could grab. I really wanted to grab the knife because I thought I was going to really do some damage. I ain't never used a knife before on nobody, so I don't know why I thought I was going to grab the knife. But I grabbed the ball peen hammer. Google it. And y'all, this is how it was in my head. I grabbed the ball peen hammer. He got on that bleacher right in front of me. And this is all I heard in my mind and in my spirit. Dink, 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 dink. He rolled up and he rolled down. And at that time, when he got the rolling down, I pounced. I jumped up from that third bleacher from the top. I ran around the second bleacher where he was standing. I jumped down, knees over him. Dink, dink, dink. That's all it was. When I got rid of him, I grabbed my bag and I hit the stairs going toward the exit. And old boy was like, "You ain't leaving." Dink, dink. He fell by the fan and I bust out the door. Yeah, that's what it was. Now, I don't remember any of that per se, except for the first initial ping ping. But think, 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 think. I remember that. But it was the principal that told me and my mama what had happened. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. Now, what's funny about my mama is funny because my mama said to me, she wasn't really worried about me getting in trouble. Yes, she was, because she was gonna whoop me when I got home. She wasn't gonna whoop me at the school. But she asked me, "Did you win?" Did you win? Now look, let me tell y'all something. If y'all know anything about black mamas, you did not want the principal to call your mama. Because that was what? Okay. That was gonna be the thing. Now let me tell y'all something about old Linda Gale. Linda Gale was, "Don't you come home if you didn't got your butt whooped." No, she didn't really say that. Well, yeah, sort of, kinda. But she did tell me to pick up a brick and bust to the white meat show. Now, she did say that all those years ago. So, look, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't coming home. You wasn't whooping me like that. But y'all, what I'm saying is words have meaning. I didn't understand what those words meant, right? Until they cut the way that they did. Until while they were beating me up on that street while I'm skipping school, all the words they were throwing at me, right? That was it. And notice, remember, I didn't say nothing to them at all. They just came in the gym and made a beeline directly to me. And that was that. That was that. Yeah, all I remember is ding, 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 ding. Y'all, okay, hold on. So I wanna, I wanna, I want y'all to Google this. Hey, Autopsy. Good morning. Good morning to you. Over on Podbean. Hey, good morning to you. I'm sorry, I'm just now getting over to y'all. Hold on. Hey, Focused and Free. Good morning. Hey, Dina. Good morning. Over on Instagram. Good morning to you. Okay. Okay, Keisha talking about baby, skip the order. Indeed. Like, don't look. I'm telling y'all, don't be writing no checks that you don't know that you can cash. Because when it comes to cashing them, then you want to sit up here and try to tell somebody how they should cash them. And I'm not trying to tell you that I'm finna cash it no certain way. I'm finna cash it that's gonna make me safe and get me up out of harm's way. And that's how that goes. And sometimes, y'all, sometimes you just don't know. You feel me? Uh, he just said, because you're going to use it. Fools run up to get beat down. Indeed. Back in the day, they used to say we had some L's and bows, right? Or, some elbows. Yeah, we're going to use them elbows. Yeah. Talking about LOL. Keisha, Keisha, you already know. And you know how Jones was set up with the gym and stuff like that. You already know. You already know. Gwen, Miss Gwen talking about that's too funny. Yeah, that was funny then, but baby, it was not funny when they told my mama that I was gonna be expelled. Mm, okay. Queen says she always asked me about my side before she would come to any conclusion. Indeed. Queen says, I am grateful that my mother never blindly believed what someone said about me, adults and all. Okay. Drew said, if you make me angry enough, those blackout moments are scary. I have those too. Yes, indeed. And I like y'all got we gotta be careful. Okay. Okay, look, talking about hilarious. It was funny. Cause y'all know I dream in color. So when I tell these stories, I tell it to y'all like that. But I guarantee you, what I heard in my head was think, think, think. Yes, indeed. Look, I want y'all to do this. So I want you to go and I want you to Google, right? A ball peen hammer, right? Woo! I say ball peen, right? But I want y'all to Google a ball peen hammer. It's ball peen, Pein, right? Or Peen, I think is how they say it. But we say peen. So I want y'all to Google a ball peen hammer. Dave's on, but I have one. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And I'm not talking about a little small ball peen hammer. I'm talking about the long one that got a little reach on it. And then y'all will know why I said ding, 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 ding. Look, y'all, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for making sure that I'm good. Look, y'all, people's first language. Words have meaning. And I just want us to be better about our relationships with our community and making sure that we are good, right? Making sure that we are good. Y'all, we need to protect ourselves, protect our peace, but also we got to protect our communities. That's where we live, that's where we lay, that's where we love. That's our ecosystem. And if we bring anything into our ecosystem that's going to damage it, that's going to take it away from us, we need to be very, very, very cautious about how we use words, where we use them, and who we're using them with, right? And that's just the way that I think it should go. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, y'all be good, y'all be great, and all of the good things. Okay? Ball peen, yeah, hammer. Google it. So y'all will know why I was saying think, 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 think. That's what I heard in my head, in my spirit. That's what I heard. Hey, Crystal Renee Star. Hey, good morning. All right, until next time, y'all be good. Y'all be great. TikTok, y'all tippity tap tap the middle of that screen. Let me know that y'all are in. I got a goal over there if y'all could help me out. YouTube, Facebook, Insta, Podbean, X. Y'all go ahead and show me some thumbs up. Show me some hearts. But like, follow, share, subscribe. I am Titan Capri on all social media. I'm trying to get my followers up and my people up. Y'all come on and come through. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's Titan in the morning. Y'all come on over. Y'all come on over. Remember, people's first language. Words have meaning. Put yourself first and then see how you feel about it. And then go ahead and do what you're going to do. Until next time, y'all be great. Ball peen hammer. Ding, 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 ding. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. All right, y'all. So I had wrote, did all this good stuff, and then I got here and I was like, yeah, that's not it. My spirit said to do something different, and I'm going to do something different. What I want to talk about real quick is that being worthy. A lot of us are worthy because we think that's what worthy should be, right? But you're worthy to be loved. You're worthy to be yourself. You're worthy to be just who God made you. You are worthy. So tonight I want to do a little something that's worthy. If y'all would with me. A little audience participation. Can I get y'all? Yeah. All right. So I do this thing called a Titans Groove, right? Every Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Just a shameless plug, real quick. Y'all come check me out. But what I do is this, Titan Groove. And so what I want to encourage you to do tonight is to be worthy in your groove. Whatever your groove is, however you see it. If it's just a little sway, then let it be a sway. If it's a little funky, then let it be a little funky, however you want to do it, all right? Y'all gonna follow me, and then I'm gonna ask y'all to do something a little bit later in this, but it goes a little something like this, right? Titan Groove. Sit ta 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 ta. Sit ta 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 ta. So ta 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 Yes, keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Ah, I like that. All right, keep it going. I'm gonna ask something of y'all. Y'all gonna help me out? All right. It's gonna go like this. Y'all follow me. I am, I can be, I will be. 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 Y'all got it? I am, I can be, I will be. All right, keep going. I am, I can be, all right, I will be. I'm going to add something in, keep going. I am, I can be, I will be. Worthy. I am, I can be, I will be. Worthy. I am. That's it. I will be. Worthy. Come on. I can be. I will. I see you moving in your seat. Come on. I am. I can be. I will be. Worthy. I am. I can be. I will be. Worthy. I am. I can be. I will be. Worthy. Ladies and gentlemen, you are worthy. You are worthy to be loved. You are worthy to be beautiful. You are worthy to be heartfelt. You are worthy to be hugged. You are worthy to be sitting right where you're sitting tonight, receiving all of this. I want to thank you all for being worthy and making me feel worthy tonight. Peace and blessings.